Act 3, Scene 4. Okay. All of the Mountain King. I guess that's where I was going after all. I thought I was trying to reach Dogwood Drive, though. The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in disrepair. For a moment, I thought that said despair. The dog! What do you suppose happened here? Some kind of storm washed it away? I haven't seen much weather down here, though. Johnny! Holy crap, the sound. Time to cut him loose, ma'am. Well now... You're bored? Nah, it's a slow night anyway. I'm happy just tagging along. I guess we're going on the boardwalk. The boardwalk. There is rope. Oh, this is pretty interesting terrain. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over. What? Okay. Ah, no! Fuck! Okay, let's hope this works. Continue Act 3. Act 3, Scene 4. Hall of the Mountain King. Oh. Well, this is different than when it crashed. I guess we got there. Old man. Puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half sighing an old country tune. Where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Sorry, did we startle you? I might say you did. I thought you might be one of them. Oh no. You can't be. We've been patching all their spy holes. Spy holes? We keep the light dim and the motors running softly, and we route the smoke out through. That is... What were you talking about? We're a bit lost. Ah, you came from the road, the zero. No, you should stay off that road. Not safe. Bizarre topology. You'll never get anywhere. It just brings you right back here. Back to this cave? Always back on this spot. It's a prison. An irrational prison. But I don't mind, not anymore. This is where my life's work is. The computer! Right on their side of the spire. It looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from university basement and left in this cave to rot or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it intensely. And in some pretty experimental ways, believe me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but you look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effect of mold grown on diffuse base transistor circuits? Would it burn up, or would it... Transistor circuit. Well, it depends on how it grows, I guess, but I think it would short it out. Certainly, but not all of it. Some mold filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in non-linear, chaotic patterns. We can guide it a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture, but we can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard, "My name is Reason, King of Kings." But we are mere gardeners in the ruin. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. Are you singing again? What did you say something? I don't think he's gonna help us much. You're gonna tell us about your software. Oh, the software! My life's work. Xanadu. You've heard about it? I've heard this word before, but I don't think it's from this game? Perhaps you've heard about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structure in my article Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative, and Post-Structural Witnesses. Evolved and then deteriorated. He sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circus, Xanadu blossomed from a moment into something holy and enchanted, and then all the charm was broken. Okay, do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? Drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. I fixed TV and I'm about to lose the lease on my workshop. My family disappeared. Julian and me don't know what to do. Not really. Not really. Well, this is Conway's story, isn't it? More or less. So, let's go with that. Shuffling around the dusty ghost of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in a jar. No. And I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine that looks as if you'd like... Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything. He is not gonna help. Is Amy gonna be as crazy? How do these people even get food? Oh, it's triangles within triangles down there. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the moment of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interest at heart while really you're in love with the young woman as well, and so you're agreed to help him conspire to win her affection, but it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and punish him out of the picture. What are you talking about? No, you're right. It's insipid. Derivative. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot bodice-ripping stuff, you know? I miss those days. In my Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus, steaming up the windows. Uh-huh. I'm not sure you should listen to this kid. I'm not listening. But of course it couldn't last. You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere. You went. I thought I might be able to do something like that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha! So I went back to the university and studied human-computer interaction. And then I picked up Donald's research. Wait, were you trying to make, like, human-computer relationships? Like, I don't understand, okay. I became her as assistant and tester. Debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the Doom love story at the core. In my off hours, I played around with the Doom's love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionalities. The bugs just grew on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Sure, why is there a fire? A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. Okay. Can I make you run or no? I guess your leg still hurts. Or where there used to be a leg. Can we see the computer? Andrew. Is Andrew crazy too? Let's talk to Andrew. Do you know what? Do you know that's when I first... No, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize this space? The one we're standing in now. It's a mess. It's kind of spooky, but it's not scary. Spooky for a baby. Looks like a right mess. A catastrophe. Or the site of some ancient catastrophe. Anyway. Sure, the evidence is all around us. I bet those tunnels are full of junk. The shadows make it hard to tell. What's burning on that fire? Mysterium tremendum. You made a tremendous mystery? It sends the shadows scattering. Momentary light, the mouths of unseen tunnels. That fire is constantly reshaping my... Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Not happening. Oh, how disappointing. I'm not closing my eyes around you. You're weird. What are all of these computers for? Or sorry to disappoint. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. To the future? Better to be in the moment, carefully observing and documenting with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on a project. He said we needed someone with more analytic mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave description as real labor instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. He warned me it would be long hours of typing, painstakingly detailed description into a computer, and I've put in the hours. Believe me, I've put in the hours. I've described every facet of this cave. This is exactly how is this relating to my current goal? I've described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking. Blowing your own trumpet a bit? Writing or exploring? Often, in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dream into the system. How would we know? Well, do you often type in your sleep? It could only be answered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know. I only dream of caves. I only dream of caves. That's too bad, I guess? Like, it's better than having nightmares, right? There's a gate. Massive gate obstructed out of scavenged material blocks passage down far right. Okay. Look, never mind the people. I want to see the computer because it seems to be the important part here. They all seem to be kind of crazy. Everybody's a bit weird. Let's look at Xanadu. Baffling... Okay, baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wire loom behind the machine. Humming faintly, an electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. Okay, well, let's use it, I guess. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around, or it has a run key. Okay. So, the power button? Oh. Déjà?